Motivation is a manipulation tactic. And the worst part, you've been using it on yourself. Think about it. Every time you waited to feel ready, something didn't get built. Every time you said, "I'll start when I'm inspired," a version of you quietly died. You weren't being honest with yourself. Your own emotions were managing you, and your emotions have been lying to you your entire life. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what James Clear discovered inside Atomic Habits, a psychological mechanism that makes motivation completely irrelevant. And once you see it, you'll never approach your goals the same way again. But before I explain, tell me something. What is the one thing you keep restarting? Keep that in your mind, because what I'm about to say will explain exactly why you keep failing it. Here is what nobody tells you about motivation. It is not a personality trait. It is not a sign of strength. It is a neurochemical event, a spike of dopamine triggered by imagining a future reward, not by actually doing the work. Your brain lights up when you think about going to the gym, not when you're there. Not when it's hard, when you're lying in bed imagining it. This is the trap. Motivation makes you feel like you're already making progress before you've done a single thing. Researchers call it a false sense of completion. You feel the reward before the effort. So by the time the effort arrives, the reward is already spent. The motivation is already gone. And you wonder why you can't stay consistent. It's not your discipline, it's your biology. You were sold a drug with a 48-hour half-life and told to build a life on it. James Clear writes about what he calls the Plateau of Latent Potential, the idea that every consistent action you take is accumulating beneath the surface, invisible, silent, building pressure, until it breaks through in a way that looks sudden to everyone watching, but was years in the making. He uses ice to explain it. A room at -10 degrees. You raise the temperature 1 degree at a time. Nothing changes. You keep going. -5, -3, -1. The room looks the same, and then 0. The ice breaks. Was the work wasted? No. Every degree was building the conditions for the break. You just couldn't see it. Consistency is the act of raising the temperature when nothing is melting, when there is no evidence that it's working. When every rational part of your brain says, "Stop, this is not doing anything." Motivation cannot survive that moment. Consistency is the only thing that can. Now, here is where Clear goes somewhere that most people completely miss. He says the problem with goals is not the goal itself. The problem is the identity underneath the goal. Every goal you've ever set, you set it as an outsider. Someone who does not yet belong to the result. And your subconscious knows that. It resists, it sabotages, because the action doesn't match who you believe you are. But when you shift the frame, when you stop saying, "I want to write every day," and start saying, "I am a writer," something structural changes inside you. Every time you sit down and write, even badly, even briefly, you're not completing a task. You are providing evidence. Evidence to yourself that the identity is real. You're casting a vote for the person you are becoming. Motivation needs you to feel something first. Identity acts regardless of feeling. That is the asymmetry. That is the advantage. A man who has decided who he is does not negotiate with discomfort. He acts because the action confirms the identity, and the identity demands the action. Clear's framework is 4 laws. Make the habit obvious, so the trigger is unavoidable. Make it attractive, so the brain wants to engage. Make it easy. Remove every point of friction until the action requires no decision. And make it satisfying. Close the loop with a signal that tells your brain, "This was worth it." When those 4 conditions are met, the habit runs on its own architecture. You don't rely on willpower. You don't rely on mood. You don't wait for the right feeling. The system generates the behavior. The same way a river doesn't decide to flow downhill. It flows because the terrain demands it. You build the terrain. Then you become the river. The most dangerous person in any room is not the most motivated one. It is the one who shows up when there is nothing to feel, who works in silence, Who builds in the dark? Who has removed the need for inspiration entirely? Because they have something deeper, a system, an identity, a terrain that only flows one way. Motivation is the weather. Consistency is climate. You cannot build a life on weather. You can only build it on what persists when the weather turns. So go back to that thing you keep restarting. Stop asking yourself if you feel like doing it. Start asking, what identity would make this automatic? Build that identity, one small vote at a time, and watch what happens when the ice finally breaks.